Hello?
Hello, Sandra?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's Brian Terrian.
Hi.
And I forgot to congratulate you on getting approved.
Thank you. I was a little worried. That day was a rough one for me.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was bad, and Kyle was excellent. Very nice, personable person. I would recommend him to anybody.
Great. That's good feedback.
But and he said he thought things went well and stuff, but I just wasn't reassured.
You never know.
How well it went, and he thought it went well, and I worried and worried and worried until, and the best thing is that he asked for it to be expedited, which helped out a lot.
Fortunate, because typically with a approval at a hearing it takes 4 months to get a letter that says that you've been approved or denied. But if it's approved, then it takes you, it can be up to another 4 months to get paid. So for some people, it's 8 months after their hearing that they finally get paid.
Wow.
And you were paid in days, right?
Yes, within less than 30 days. So it was very good of him to. But you know what? My situation is a little, and I did try the dire need thing, and that didn't pan out, too well.
Seldom does.
Either, but I think it did help my case, in the end. So I guess
I did want to ask this of you, in looking at the process and going through it. There are still, Sandra, so many people that don't understand the process. They, they don't understand the work that we do, etc. So I wanted to ask you, is there any advice that you could give for people that you would allow us to share, like share your message,
one big thing, I guess, one big thing is try to get your doctors to make good notes, because they just don't. There were so many things in my medical notes when I went back and looked at them that were wrong, that the doctors didn't really listen to me. So one doctor I had, I would always make a list of, what was going on with me at the time and stuff, and she kept it, and put it in my file. But it's very hard, and I had so many different doctors that that didn't know me. My doctors kept leaving the area. So, one of them quit, retired, and then another one came in, and that one was out the door, and then this last one moved to a different location. So I ended up with one that I'm not really happy with. And she just kind of said, I'm not dealing with your pain stuff, I'll do everything else. And she was really a pain in the butt with that stuff, actually. It was all about money, I need you to come in and review your medications before I'll refill your prescriptions, and stuff like that. But, none of them really made good notes, and if they did make notes, a lot of them weren't correct.
Do you have an example? This is amazing. I haven't heard this tip before. It's fantastic.
Yeah. For instance, when I went in for my psychological review to see if they were going to insert that like internal TENS unit or that stimulator in my low back, when I went to see the psychiatrist for that test, when I read back the notes, he said that I attempted suicide a few years ago. No, I didn't. I didn't. It was several years ago. It was back when I was 18 or 19, I believe.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't anything recent. So that was a discrepancy. Just things like that were,
You were getting no shots in your back, and she didn't know a lot of those.
So stuff like that. As far as telling them what type of things bothered you and what you could and couldn't do, they never made really good notes on that. When I told them I couldn't walk very far in the store or whatever, she says she can walk, 500 miles, which, they turned it around. It wasn't, they didn't portray me they didn't listen to me very well, and maybe it was my communication that they didn't listen to. But I was in worse shape than what they portrayed.
Okay.
In my notes, in their notes. Some of the things I said I couldn't do, they, oh, she can do this. No, I can't. You didn't listen to me. So I guess doctor's notes are, I think if they would have maybe written them better and more accurate, I wouldn't have had to maybe
go to a
maybe
hearing.
wait long. Yeah.
So were you requesting and reviewing your medical records? Like how often were you doing that?
When I did, and when you told me, actually I sent them to you. When I sent them to you, I sent that big file. That's when I requested them, and then I kind of went back through them and read them. And it's like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, so it was kind of a big wake-up call. So I guess, I don't know if people can review their medical records every so often and go back to the doctor and say, I did not say this, or this isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
But
I mean,
that would be my...
that's a HIPAA regulation that you have access to your medical records, and it's a great idea. Super tip for people.
Yeah, that would be my biggest recommendation, is things just weren't right in records.
And congratulations again. I'm so happy it worked out.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much, and please thank Kyle if you talk to him again.
I will do that. All right.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks now.
All right. Bye.